Chad, the Sooners need Jalen to be Jalen. He needs to be good at what he's good at. That is what Coach Moser said. A lot of times these guys that test the waters, they come back and try to do the things that they heard these execs saying. He needs to play strong, defend, rebound, make step-ins, and be the aggressor that he is.
And Reggie Bass has experience, just not at Lindenwood. He was at Kent State last year. Prior to that, he was the MAC Freshman of the Year at Central Michigan. So how important is he to the Lions?
Well, he needs to take on that leadership role, be the coach on the floor. He's a guy, as you mentioned, that was the MAC Freshman of the Year at Central Michigan at 12 a game, made plays at Kent State. Smooth lefty. Look for him to be that straw that stirs the drink tonight, Chad.
Fans rising to their feet inside the Lloyd Noble Center. This is the second of 2 games today. The Oklahoma women were able to win earlier over Southern. It's Sam Godwin jumping center for Oklahoma, and in the midcourt jump circle, Jalen McDaniels, senior from Kansas City, and the tap is won by the Lions. Referees tonight: Jeb Hartness, Eric Shannon, Chris Ford. Lindenwood set to go to work. Screen by McDaniel. Bass with a deep entry pass, double team from Godwin and Goodine, and it rims off into the lap of Sam Godwin. The Oklahoma lineup tonight with 3 new faces out there in the starting lineup. As we said, 10 newcomers for Porter Moser. This is one of them, Kobe Elvis. Sam Godwin trying to work his way down into the low post. The holdovers are Godwin, who led the Big 12 in offensive rebounding, and the aforementioned Jalen Moore. And you got the transfers in: Kobe Elvis, Bryce Goodine, and Duke Miles. Shot first offensive possession ends with a turnover.
Well, you had a couple of guys there, Chad. You know, this is one of those where guys are 10 new players on both teams. They're filling one another out, and the Sooners probably turned down a couple of open opportunities and ended up having to take a tough one right there at the end of the shot clock.
3-quarter court pressure here for Lindenwood. We mentioned Bass. Markeith Browning is a transfer from Milwaukee. And Jadis Jones, a very interesting player. He was last year's Missouri High School Gatorade Player of the Year, but he was going to play college football until last Thanksgiving when he had a chance. Elvis will turn down the 3, and the ball stolen from him. Back the other way, Markeith Browning, the third, glides in for the deuce, and Lindenwood hits the board first.
That's one of those live ball turnovers right there by the Sooners. Right
around the perimeter, Goodine launches strong. Rebound, Jalen Moore, reverse left-handed is good to tie it at 2.
That is a Jalen Moore play right there. Gobbling up that offensive glass. Got over 2 of them per game last year for the Sooners. Look for him and Sam Godwin to be extra active on the glass, Chad.
Second season at Oklahoma for Moore after 2 seasons at Georgia Tech. He nearly picked the pocket of Markeith Browning, who falls down. He'll be called for traveling. Porter Moser's Sooners were 20-12 last year, and they just got a raw end of the deal by being left out of the NCAA tournament. He's left out of the NCAA tournament. He said unequivocally, we should have been in. It was a gut punch. And then the roster, he lost guards. Otega Owe, Javier McCullum, Milos Uzan. Does not have a returning guard on the roster, so it's all new, including Goodine, who's 0 for 2 now from 3-point range, but all newness at the guard spot.
Definitely, and one of the things that Coach Moser spoke on was just that has been a challenge for consistency when you do not have one guard back from the season prior. Goodine, though, get used to him letting him fly. He made 77 of those bad boys last year, Chad.
Yeah, they don't mind him doing that.
He can tee him up.
McDaniel falls down as he misses, and Sam Godwin with another rebound.
Sam's such a strong, physical, active player, and doesn't mind throwing his body around. We've seen this before. Great defense. Sam is definitely a pogo stick. Made the play. I mean, the wherewithal to throw it off of the offensive player. Just a great play by a veteran.
He'd been in concussion protocol. Had to get some stitches in his chin, but he was cleared and good to go here in the opener. This is Miles. Skip past Jalen Moore. He'll shoot that, and that's why he can hit that.
When he has his feet and shoulders squared, he gets rhythmed up. He made 25 of those last season at a 41% clip. When you let him get wide open like that, he's going to make more than he misses, Chad.
41% sounds like he needs to shoot more of those.
No joke, right? Look for that number 25 to go up a little bit, I would guarantee, this season.
5-2 and a traveling violation there against McDaniel, trying to work his way into the right low block. Lindenwood not eligible for the NCAA tournament until 2006-2027. So this is their 3rd year transitioning from Division II to Division I. Cal Gerdeman's been the man in charge now for 6 seasons. They made the Ohio Valley Championship game in his first season as head coach.
And there were a lot of nervous people in that gym.
And a lot of bubble teams that were nervous for the team that actually would have helped him out. A team that couldn't get into the big dance nearly qualified for it that year.
No joke.
Shot clock under 10.
Sooners really working this ball. They've got it to the third side on almost every possession.
Beautiful extra step there by Miles to cash it in. 7-2 Sooners.
Duke Miles with the step through and a little scoop right there.
3 ball on the way, and Ian Futrell off the mark. Good rugged rebound by Jadis Jones. He's a former football player. Strong off the 3 is Browning, and Godwin has his 3rd rebound.
Sooners coming up. That's one of the things that Coach Moser talked. That drag screen right out of transition, pick and pop.
This is a 2 for Jalen Moore. I think he almost had difficulty locating the 3-point line, and that threw the shot off. Skip marks there on the knees of Reggie Bass as he tumbles to the floor. Love the bodies jumping in. Here in the season opener, we got a held ball. Possession's going to go the other way.
We got a few flat tires down here on this end, Chad. Oh, man.
Jalen Moore showing that he can shoot the 3.
Jalen Moore probably needs to put up a few more. That was the offensive rebound where he gets 2 a game. This was a nice skip pass when he gets squared up. Sooners up 5, headed to the break.
In the close contact with his head coach all season long as the learning process goes about.
Without a doubt. He's a freshman. He's going to make there. He is getting his first Sooner assist on the back screen to Jalen Moore, but he's going to make plays as he just did right there, Chad.
Jalen Moore doesn't jump. He doesn't fly. He orbits.
I like to say it looked like he fell out of the ceiling, Chad.
He's got an early start of 7 points. Beautiful double clutch there for Markeith Browning, the Milwaukee transfer who spent a year at Coffeyville Community College, where he won a JUCO title. That ball was tipped, retrieved by Duke Myers. So that stopped a 9-0 run put on by Oklahoma. What a start for Moore, 7 points. Fears releases off. And also into the game is Muhammad Wagi. He has that rebound. And Jalen Moore stepped on the sideline. Out of bounds.
That's the first one, Chad. You know, I keep a running tally. You laugh because how many times do guys just step out of bounds, especially on that sideline? But by the way, Jeremiah Fears had no fear letting that first 3-point jumper fly, did he?
I'm not sure he has much fear. 5-point lead for the Sooners. Trell squared up like he was going to fire that. He's guarded tightly by Glenn Taylor Jr. That's in there. It's just rimmed in for Jordan Wildy. He is a guy that tore his ACL in summer workouts before last season.
Known as being a low post guy, but that time let it fly from deep and got nothing but the bottom.
Missed all of last year, so they're excited to have him back. Look at the retrieval, the effort by the pogo stick. Moore. Wagi comes away with it for Oklahoma. Trying to save it out top. Taylor comes up with it and finally finds a little help in Miles. The Sooners going to say, let's take a timeout and reset this thing.
That was a scrum right there, Chad. But guys are throwing their bodies around there. You like to see that this time of the year. Guys are just competing. I don't think Coach Moser necessarily enjoyed that timeout, though, by his body language.
He did not, or by what he said, which is why'd you take a timeout. 9-7. So the last 2 buckets by Lindenwood. Oklahoma taking this early timeout. Porter Moser huddles up with his guys. So Lindenwood, 6th season as head coach, as we said, went to the Ohio Valley Championship game in 2023, their first season in Division I, and they are still not eligible to play in the NCAA tournament until 2026, 2027. So his contract extension goes through that year. He's done a really good job, and he was at Monmouth prior to that. We had the chance to visit with him a little bit. He's got these 10 new players. Some he's excited about, but they
program. This is their most talented roster and what he's going to need to compete in the Ohio Valley.
He said for the first time we weren't just grabbing players out of the portal. We got pieces and are filling in the spots we need. Wagi, he's active early. Fears traveled with it. So Oklahoma 4 turnovers. Lindenwood has 3.
But you got to live with a few of those. Like that time, Fears got himself a little deep, got knocked off his cut, off the bounce. And, you know, the young freshman who does have a nice body for a freshman. I think you and I were joking on Wednesday night. I can remember being a freshman. I didn't look like that. Heck, I'm 50 years old. I don't look like that.
I've never looked like that.
You can say that again, Chad. You and I both.
2-point game. Lindenwood with a chance to tie or retake the lead. They led 2-0. Johnson steps back, decides not to fire. Browning will pull the trigger way off, but it was fortunate because it bounded right to Futrell, and he has tied this game at 9.
And Futrell actually is one of those guys, had over 2 offensive rebounds a game in Division II at Christian Brothers, and that time the ball found the young freshman. Those are the plays, as a freshman, you have to box out right there.
Shaken free inside Wegge converts it. Fears found him, and a 3-point opportunity.
Second assist right there for Jeremiah Fears, and we were talking prior, though, that shot went up, and Fears ended up just being the guy underneath. You got to fight a guy down there to box him out.
So Fears averaged 21 points a game at the Peach Jam, and he was ready to go. Reclassified to the 2024 class to come and play at Oklahoma. He was top 25 in the class of 2025. And Oklahoma happy to get him.
Well, the
Peach Jam, Porter Moser said, sometimes we have to remind him he's not playing in the Peach Jam.
He's not alone. You got to remind a lot of these young guys that, but he does have an extra gear. There's certain guys that have gears that they can get to and not very many others can. And this young kid Fears, he has that gear and he can get there.
Now some full court pressure by the Sooners. Colin Ruffin, sophomore guard, has checked in for Lindenwood. He tosses into Markeith Browning III. Here's Bass, and Fears steals it behind the back. Fears, the kick out 3-ball. Elvis. And a running rebound for Browning. He's going to go 1-on-3. Beautiful Euro step, but he couldn't convert. Glenn Taylor Jr. the board for the Sooners. Sideline hit ahead for Fears.
Chad, that possession prior, you know the most impressive thing that Fears, just let that ride.
Godine, his third try, and it's good from Trey.
He looks like a guy that made 77 threes at Fairfield, but the thing I was just going to complete that thought, Fears made a simple play in transition, pitched it over to Kobe Elvis. Kobe missed a 3, but simple is good, especially as a freshman. That was a really good play by the young Fears.
Browning back up, follows his own miss, sticks that in.
This kid is relentless, and he's coming at you every single possession, and it's actually impressive to watch Browning.
It's a guy that Coach Kyle Gerdeman told us he's got a Power 5 type of athleticism. You saw it on that retrieval and lay-in.
Well, you can see it. He had 14 points in their exhibition game against Hannibal LaGrange, and you see why now. I mean, he doesn't stop. He's all gas, no brakes.
You spend any time at Hannibal LaGrange ever, Pooh? Godine rinsed another one.
Back-to-back deja vu by Godine. But to answer your question, Chad, can't say I've ever been to Hannibal LaGrange. Matter of fact, where is Hannibal LaGrange? If you tell me that, I'll be impressed.
Either Hannibal or LaGrange. Ruffin pulls it back out. 20 to shoot here for the Lions. Both teams starting to go cooking offensively. Browning step in 3, no. Fears grabs the miss, 2-on-1 with Miles. He'll attack himself. The freshman lays it up and in. So Fears with no fears, his first Oklahoma field goal.
That was, he took a 2-step, maybe +1, 2.5,
hey,
let's say.
Take all you can get.
You know what? When you're a young freshman and you're playing your first college game, you take it.
Sooners by 9. Largest lead for either team. We approach the 11-minute mark in the opening half. A lot of physicality. Nathan Johnson Jr. is off balance. Godwin another rebound. Oklahoma's got numbers. Godwin punches it home, and a foul. Look out below.
Really good play right there by Kobe Elvis. And Sam Godwin, he had a full head of steam and cleared the way for liftoff. Number 10 going up top with a nasty dunk right there. Big time play in transition where the Sooners want to get better.
Godwin emphatic with his enthusiasm and his energy. Oklahoma in transition and pulling away. Up 11 with 11 minutes to play.
This is the SEC.
Jalen Moore, the 2 returnees, have 9 points and 8 rebounds between them. And you asked Porter Moser, he said, look, the most critical thing was these 2 guys came back, Moore and Godwin. You said that's our 2 toughest players. We've got a core when we've got those guys.
Well, they set the tone. I mean, that's one of those things where there's a certain level of intensity in a college basketball practice. And if you get a whole bunch of new guys that have been at other places, they don't know how you do things. So these two know how Coach Moser wants to do things, and they know the Sooner way, and that is what they impart to the rest of these guys.
Sam Godwin's added about 15 pounds of muscle, transferred to Oklahoma from Wofford. He was a walk-on at Oklahoma. That was 3 years ago, and awarded a scholarship. Just a great testament to his effort level and his desire to play college basketball at Oklahoma.
Pretty good walk-on, Chad. That's the Captain Obvious statement of the night right there.
Butrell pull up, two-point try. Tough shot. Jalen Moore way up high to grab the miss. So the Sooners with a 7-0 run in the last minute and a half. A little over penetration there by Elvis, and he lost it. Held ball possession. Arrow goes the other way with Lindenwood.
He got himself a little too deep right there. It was the right thought, but that's a reason why old school coaches say you pick it up around the foul line. Got a little too deep, and Sooners have been picking up full court here most of the night. They've been either in the soft press, you know, kind of the three-quarter court, 1-2-2, and they've been picking up full court man. Looks like they're going man right here. Trying to pick up the pace. I know Coach Moser talked about wanting to play at a little faster tempo, and one way to do it is on the defensive end.
And that was his number one thing with us in the pregame, was wants to see this team compete defensively.
You can see it. I mean, they're digging in right now, holding 31%, and a lot of activity.
Little contact. Ruffin takes a tumble. Godwin found him. And so Colin Ruffin will head to the foul line.
And Ruffin is more of a pass-first PG usually, but has that big, strong body. He's a pass-first guy, but that time got a little deep off that exchange. You know, guard handoff right there. A little miscommunication allowed him an angle, and he's so big he can get down there and make a play.
Nixa, Missouri product. That rims out for him.
How far is that from Hannibal LaGrange?
I am not sure. 54% foul shooter a year ago. Made 19 starts. In fact, led this team in steals and was second in assists. It's kind of that hard-nosed point guard. Oklahoma by 11, approaching the midway mark of this opening half.
See right there, Chad, just something simple, though. Jalen Moore directing traffic, almost like the point guard or the point forward, 0.5, whatever you want to call him. But he's a vet, and you can tell.
Kobe Elvis trying to pull his way to the basket. Step back three, way off. And out of bounds it goes. Elvis is out of Brampton, Ontario, Canada. This is his third Division I stop. 2021. He spent at DePaul, then 3 years at Dayton, was on an NCAA tournament and won the Atlantic 10 there. And that's something with these transfers Porter Moser has brought in. Guys who've been to the NCAA tournament. Mo McGee was in the Final Four at Alabama last year. Jaden Jones, who we'll see, was an NCAA tournament participant at Long Beach State, and then Elvis at Dayton.
There's something to be said about guys that have won, Chad. I mean, as coaches, you know they've been through the ringer. They've been in good programs, and even a guy like Duke Miles, he won 20-plus games at High Point.
Browning. Godwin has another rebound, knocked away from him from behind by Jadis Jones. So Sam Godwin, 6 early rebounds. Oklahoma 15-7 on the board so far. Just sorting through things. Kind of that token full court pressure from Ruffin here against Miles. Making the Sooners work a little harder. Elvis bobbing and weaving, and a foul off the ball.
One of the things I'm noticing, Chad, between both Miles and Elvis, it's kind of point guard by committee. Different guys that can initiate your offense and get you into what you're trying to do. And that's something that I think we'll see a lot of throughout this season.
Back in comes Glenn Taylor Jr. Sam Godwin gets a breather. Now the Sooners go with a look here with Jalen Moore really playing the 5 spot. And I think we may be headed over to the monitor to look at the little exchange between Jalen Moore and Markeith Browning III. As Jeb Harkness has got his 2 other officials, Garrett Shannon, Chris Ford, surrounding him. They will first talk about what they want to go look at.
Let's see what we're working with. I don't know if it was a grab and hold or if it was some extracurricular that I did not see, but I'm sure they will let us know. Here we go.
Previous play is under further review. Possible flagrant foul.
So the initial call is just a common foul against Browning. But they will check for potential flagrancy. Man, it's so nice they have microphones. That way you and I don't have to do all the talking.
I was just about to say something, but guess what? Right when I went to say it, Chad, let me get out of the way.
Bottom line is 9:11 to play in the first half. Oklahoma has had a fairly comfortable lead most of the half. This 11-point margin. Actually, the 11-point margin a moment ago was their largest.
Here we go. I'm not sure how excessive, but
interpretation on our part would be just speculation.
All speculation right here from over here, Chad. I didn't see a whole lot, but I also couldn't hear anything. Sometimes what you hear.
I would say this, the initial shove, I mean, those are big grown men, and there's a lot of forward momentum involved. Just a little nudge can move a fella a long way.
I would say that didn't seem like a lot to me. Jalen may have been auditioning for an extra in Baywatch. That's what I used to tell guys. That's the Tubby Smithism. All good players have an act. Some players
have to be Baywatch.
Some guys are Denzel Washington, others are Baywatch extras.
Oh, gotcha.
Not a lot of great acting going on in Baywatch, Chad.
David Hasselhoff is upset that you said that.
Has been upgraded to an F1, and they just said it was
the previous
unnecessary.
foul call has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. So
Oklahoma, the beneficiary there. Flagrant 1 foul against Markeith Browning III. So Jalen Moore will get a trip to the foul line, and Oklahoma will then get the ball. Let's look one more time.
And the wording he used was unnecessary. It wasn't necessarily the most, egregious thing of all time, but unnecessary is definitely the word of the night.
By the way, I think Jalen Moore did a good job in that Baywatch reboot audition. he got the call.
He was definitely
got a call back.
He was no Denzel Washington, Chad.
Come on now.
The words of Tubby Smith, Coach Tubby, all good players have an act, Chad.
How were you as an actor? You're way more Denzel.
I was far from Denzel, but I would have beat Baywatch.
9 minutes left, opening half. Oklahoma gets the possession on the flagrant 1 foul. They run him off the 3-point line, so he'll take a guarded 2 and drill that one as well.
Good looking young wing right there. I say young, all these guys are young compared to us, Chad, but 6'4", he's got great length, and we know he shoots it, but that time put it on the deck and vaulted up and made it look easy.
He was the MAC 6th man of the year a season ago at Fairfield. 14 points a game, shot 47% from 3, and you can shoot a high percentage from that range right there where your head is looking down at the rim, as it was for Jalen Moore.
Not many people can levitate or fall out of the rooftop here at Lloyd Noble like Jalen Moore, and he's going to make a lot of those.
Get that man a flight suit, tether him to the shuttle if he's going to be in orbit like that. 15-point Sooner lead with 8 minutes left, opening half. Booknight said, why not? Missed it in the retrieval there by Glenn Taylor Jr. Jalen Moore, his second made 3 of the first half. Jalen Moore says, I shall give them more. He's got 13, including 2 triples tonight.
Very impressive by the young fella, Jalen Moore, doing what Coach Mosier told him. Be good at what he's good at. And one thing that you cannot teach, Chad, is for a guy to do that and go upstairs and fall out of the elevator and then rhythm up, bang that 3, making it look easy. Sooners up 18. Shooting at a big
run for the Oklahoma Sooners. Their lead is out to 18 points. And, Pooh, I don't know about Jalen Moore's range as an actor, as we were discussing. but as a basketball player, it's awfully good.
2 for 3 behind the arc, so that range looks pretty good. He is playing with such activity. He has, listen to this, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of those on the offensive end, and he's done all that in just under 9 minutes, Chad. Keep him going, man.
As you said, what Porter Moser asked of him, be great at what he is good at. Elite defender he can be. Great energy, finish, and make that step in 3. He's done it tonight.
And it hasn't been like a movement 3. I mean, he's not coming off screen. This feet, shoulder squared, rhythm up, 1-2. Those are the 3s he makes, and at a high clip, 41% last season.
All right, where the Lions going here for some offense? Shot clock plays down to 10, and they need to get it quickly.
It's going to be Bass or Browning. That's usually the go-tos.
Instead, it's McDaniel finding a little lane to kiss it off the window.
That's not usually his calling card. More of a defender, offensive rebounding glass eater, but that time took it with a right-hand straight line drive.
Tough shot for Fears. I think he was behind the glass when he shot that.
Not sure that's the shot that Coach Moser would have liked him to take, but you take them when they go in, Chad.
Follow dunk attempt out for McDaniel.
That is what McDaniel does right there. He's a glass eater.
Fears. And he's got some wiggle to him. Missed that shot. Jones has it for Lindenwood.
Chad, you've heard me talk before about that WD-40. Some players have it, some don't. He got a lot of WD-40 in this game.
No doubt.
He is slippery.
We get a timeout or a held ball?
I think it's a timeout.
Did get a timeout. Jeff Hartnett's our referee on the baseline calling that one. So timeout taken by Lindenwood here. They would get a use it or lose it anyway. Just under 7 minutes left in our first half. Oklahoma's made 4 of its last 5 from the field, holding Lindenwood to 1 of its last 8. And there's Bryce Godine. The transfer a couple of times was first at Syracuse, then the 2 years at Fairfield, and had 2 years at Providence as well. So this is his 4th stop on his college journey. Career 41% three-point shooter.
He's well traveled. I usually say guys that have done that, he's eaten cafeteria food throughout a lot of different universities.
That he
4
has.
schools. That is a lot. And I'm going to tell you what, though, it's good to see him in a Sooner uniform. And I'm sure Coach Moser enjoys what he's seeing to this point.
And you get to see a lot of the country because have jump shot will travel. He had a 40-point game against Siena last year, made 8 threes in that game.
He is not bashful. I mean, he's a guy that had 14 points a game coming off the bench in 26 minutes. So he plays starter minutes, but as you said, 6th man of the year, but he's not bashful.
And so far, 8 points tonight. He's made 2 threes.
Just watching this, we talked the game prior. You want to be armbar ready and physical baseline out of bounds, and the Sooners did a great job. And Wagee looking like a human eraser.
Fears transitioning. Godine left wide open. He knows how to drill that. Got a foul underneath. I think it may be after the shot. Jalen Moore of Oklahoma knocked down Reggie Bass. They may have a look at it, but I think the 3 will count and then a foul after the bucket.
I think you are right. I think that they're going to get Jalen for doing what big guys do to guards, try to throw Reggie down. And again, Godine, as you said, jump shot is definitely packed, ready to roll, and he has it locked and loaded, and his feet and shoulders are squared. And give Fears credit. Yeah, that's just they call that a takedown.
That's exactly what it was. 21-point Oklahoma lead. So indeed it was a good 3 and a foul on Jalen Moore, his first. Sooners come away with that steal.
Wagee just I mean, he's done a lot of things that won't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but he's making great plays for the Sooners.
Fears nearly turns it over. That tipped away from Wagee by Jones, and a foul from behind against Wagee.
That was definitely not. That's one of those kind of hot potato possessions. You see Coach Moser right there. Drives the coach nuts. I mean, they've been so good moving and sharing this basketball. And so you don't want to waste possessions. And that was one of those ones you just can't get back. And it's early. It's serious. I mean, it's November 4th right now. So you live, you learn, you get better. And right now, Coach has to enjoy what he's seeing, though.
A 13-2 Oklahoma run. But that is turnover number 6 here in the opening half. Reggie Bass, a guy that Kyle Gerdeman says he just gets our pace, although the pace was throw it to the other team, and Wagee, the beneficiary, hammers one home on the other end for the Sooners.
I think the Sooner staff will definitely say that they are enjoying what Mohamed Wagee is bringing right now. Mo Wagee is being just an energizer bunny type player, and that time he got a little extra energy going there.
So Wagee played really through a stress fracture in his foot last year at Alabama on that Final Four team. But he has recovered from that with spring like this.
That was a great read right there defensively. He ran through that bounce pass, perimeter bounce pass. It's not the best thing as a guard. That's one of those, for those at home, a bounce pass is a finishing pass. In the words again, these are sizzled in my brain from Coach Tubby Smith. A perimeter bounce pass is a slow pass, and guys run through them just like what we just witnessed, and a lot of the times they end on the other end in dunks. And not to let Coach Tubby's words go bad or in vain, that's what Wagee did.
So here's Jadis Jones. What a story this guy is. Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year last year, but he had committed to play football at Coastal Carolina, and then over Thanksgiving he decommitted, and associate head coach Anthony Bean at Lindenwood got into the picture, and he decided he wanted to play college hoops. Godine lines up another, just missed. There's Sam Godwin, the retrieval. Fears, that one also in and out. And a good rebound by Jones. Bass, the outlet, he'll step up and fire. Just grazed the rim. Shot clock did not reset. Browning gallops in. Out of control shot. Rebound, Glenn Taylor Jr. Transition, step around. Missed the lay-in as it just popped out. Jordan Wildy has the rebound.
Taylor, everything but the finish. He was a one-man fast break. You got to knock that down, though. Great move, $1 million move with a 10-cent finish, Chad.
And a foul off the ball. I think they're going to get Glenn Taylor Jr. for this one. Or was it a foul? They just let Sam Godwin put his shoe back on.
I'm not sure. What a move, though, that was. I mean, he got downhill, and he was going. It looked like the court was slanted to his advantage right there with the speed he had in transition, but just couldn't get the old layup. And prior to that, even Browning, I thought, should have shot the right-hand layup. He is a lefty. He took it left side, exposed the ball, ended up getting it blocked, but he had the advantage and had his man beat going to the right. Should have just scooped it with the right hand.
So no foul call, just an equipment stoppage there for Sam Godwin. 5 minutes left in the opening half. 21-point lead for Oklahoma. Largest lead has been 23. Sooners have shot 50%. They've made 5 threes in the opening half, and Lindenwood shooting just 25%. That foul was against Kobe Elvis. First on Elvis, 5th against the Sooners. Neither team in the bonus with under 5 to play in the half. Marquise Browning slashes and scores.
Straight line drive with the left hand. He is a lefty, so I'm sure the scouting report says take that away, and his explosiveness and speed just allowed him to get that straight line.
Won a JUCO national title at Coffeyville, and then spent the last 3 seasons prior to this at Milwaukee as a part-time starter. Beautiful cut by Moore. The finish not home, and Browning rebounds.
Browning has an extra gear.
And lots of extra shots.
He's not scared now. He is not scared to let it fly.
I like it. Jalen Moore had that poked away. It'll be a reach in against Browning.
I was just thinking that, Chad. You usually, you like those guys that let him go now.
Let it fly.
We do a game together. You usually say that. Let it fly, young
Pull the
fella.
trigger. That's right.
Well, you know what? The old saying, when you shoot it, you don't turn it over. And you give your guys a chance to offensive rebound.
You know, who I did so many games with the late, great, legendary Billy Tubbs, whose number is retired in the rafters at the Lloyd Noble Center, and he would say, why would we not want to shoot the ball first and instead pass it around and take a bad shot?
Coach Tubbs knows a few things about letting it fly.
Jalen Moore does too. One of his rare misses on the night. He's now 2 for 4 from three-point range. Under 4 to play, opening half. Sooners by 19 here in the season opener. Bass trying to blow past, couldn't shake Miles, and he just drops home the 3 instead.
Well, he was a 34% three-point shooter at Kent State last season. Again, he's got that nice size. He's about 6'3", so he can just vault up and shoot him up over you.
Fear's going to slow it down just a tad for the Sooners. And foul out front on Ruffin. That'll be the 4th against Lindenwood here in the opening half. This is a 7-0 run for the Lions to kind of draw back into it a bit. But the Sooners still lead by 16.
Chad, we've been talking off the air. Jalen Moore putting on a highlight reel right here. A one-man wrecking crew. Offensive rebounds. 3-ball. Let's just take one up top for the lob right there from the young fella. Jeremiah right now at 2 for 4. Jalen Moore being what the Sooners need, and maybe a little extra being Jalen Moore.
Made 5 out of 10, showing you the range, 2 of 4 from three-point range. Part of a good offensive effort for Oklahoma for most of the half. Now, this is a 7-0 run on the part of Lindenwood. Over the last 2.5 minutes, Oklahoma 0 for the last 5 from the field. So, where does Oklahoma go offensively? Need to break a 7-0 drought. What's your main option for Porter Moser here, do you think?
Well, I think what we're going to see right now, they're going to space it, spread it. Just going to be activity cuts. And at some point, you're going to end up getting it to number 14. And he's going to be the guy you're going to play through.
10 to shoot. Taylor Jr. into Godwin, bangs his way in, but missed the runner with the left hand.
The Sooners have been playing on the third side of the floor. When I say that, I mean the ball starts on one, goes to the second, comes back to the third side of the floor. That time they were stuck on that right side, and that wasn't a great offensive possession.
Athletic play underneath by Jadis Jones. He scrambles to get it, got trapped underneath. Now they'll get the reset. But only 10 to shoot here. Shot clock never reset for Lindenwood. Beautiful split of the double team that time. Bass, and he's pounded down to the floor. A couple of free throws here for Reggie Bass.
Sooners didn't come together right there on that ball screen coverage. Bass with the split, low and quick right there. A big time play, getting himself to the bucket right here. We're going to see it. That was one of those ones where Duke Miles probably did. He was outside of the restricted arc. He did go vert. You want to always talk about hands back, but I think his momentum ran him into him, and that'll get you the foul, and ended up getting him a seat on the side. Nope, still in. I thought he was going to the side.
Reggie Bass, 2 years ago at Central Michigan, was Mid-Atlantic Freshman of the Year, led that team in assists and steals, then went to Kent State. Maybe not as much playing time, only started 13 and 8 points per game, so decided to make the move to Lindenwood. And he's a dynamic type of player. And as Kyle Gerdeman said, he just gets their pace and tempo.
And you know, one of those things, he brings experience and leadership too. You want to have a guy like him on the floor.
Here's Jalen Moore. He's had a good first half, 13 points. Gets bumped down on the baseline.
You got him on the offensive. He had the wraparound there.
So there's a reason he found himself some space.
Well,
wrap around with the offhand.
He got it. It was a turnover, but I thought they were going to call the travel. And if you're Jalen, you probably would have preferred the travel because they got him for the offensive foul. So you got the foul and the turnover, Chad. That's two wrongs don't make a right.
And that's 2 fouls. Jalen Moore heads over to the bench. Wide open look from 3. Futrell way off the mark. McDaniel back up.
That is what McDaniel does. He's a Energizer bunny that is all over that glass.
Lions are pounding the glass, and it results in a deuce for Jadis Jones. This is an 11-0 run put on by Lindenwood. We have an injured Sooner down there. It is Bryce Goodine.
Well, right now the Lions are just bringing effort, and we said this. I'm not sure if it was earlier in this game or earlier today. Sometimes your best offense can be a missed shot, and right now that is what Lindenwood is doing right now. They are just going to get the glass, Chad, and a missed shot is becoming their best offense because they're getting layups on the second and third opportunities.
9 offensive rebounds in the first half for Lindenwood. Oklahoma still has the advantage. Beg your pardon, that's 8 offensive rebounds. Oklahoma has the advantage on the glass, but some difference makers on the offensive end for Lindenwood recently to get him back in. Over the top, Godwin with the left hand. And that stops the 11-0 run by the Lions.
You know what? Something that guys take for granted, but Sam Godwin is a spectacular rim roller. Like a lot of times guys don't roll with that force. Sam rolls with force. Every single time he sets a ball screen, he's a hard roller, and it makes your offense that much better because it puts pressure on the rim.
Mid-post here, Jadis Jones. Good extra pass. Bass for three. And Godwin, a good seal out that time on McDaniel to get the Oklahoma rebound.
That was a really good pass by Jalen McDaniel, though.
Fears drew some contact. He'll shoot a pair. Had a beautiful little change of direction behind the back at about the foul line.
Well, Chad, we were talking just a little bit ago about Sam Godwin. Watch this. Ball screen, hard roll. I mean, he threatens the rim. You want guys to do that. And you want to roll with force because it sucks the defenders in. And that allows you to catch it, sprint to the other side, just like we saw Jalen McDaniel do. You're either going to get a layup or you're going to cause someone to get an open three because you're threatening the rim with that hard, forceful roll.
Fierce able to knock home both free throws. He's got 6 points in his Sooner debut. And we see Jacob Fredrickson Cole check into the game for the first time for Oklahoma.
Redshirt freshman, long, lanky lefty, looking to make his Sooner debut here.
So Jacob Fredrickson Cole redshirted a season ago. He's a former four-star guy, and here he is guarding Jones. Guarded three that's in and out for Futrell. Miles. Fredrickson Cole will turn down the three as Oklahoma works it around a bit more. Under a minute left of the opening half. Oklahoma once led by 23. Fears no. Godwin trying to toss that one off of McDaniel. And Bass looks like he's okay as he went falling hard.
He's going to head to the line. Sooners 8th team foul. Lindenwood's in the bonus right now. Be interesting to see. I don't think OU will do it. They have just under 44 seconds. I don't think we're going to see a 2-for-1. You knew where I was going with that, Chad. We've been around one another a little while. I don't think you don't see it in college basketball as much. It's a staple in the NBA, obviously, but
they're just trying to get good shots at this level, right?
Yes. I mean, you're right. I mean, you see it every blue moon in college, but usually that's an NBA thing.
Bass hits the front end of the 1-and-1. 85% foul shooter. Muncie, Indiana product. Cal Gerdeman's team has responded after being down 23. Keep it reasonable at halftime. It didn't go the opposite direction. Godine returns for Oklahoma. He's still kind of limping around a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking, had a little hitch in his giddy up, Chad, right there. But watch this, though. You know what they call the basketball? The power pellet. I guarantee you when that ball touches his hands.
Magic.
There will not. Look at him running right now.
Yep.
He looks like, hey, you ever see, what is that? I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, but the old, where Yoda came out and he looked like he was 900 years old, like he was. Then all of a sudden,
he always looked that way.
Then he was the quickest guy. I think Goodine will have a little bit of that when that ball, that orange, touches his hand. And there's the 2-for-1.
So Fears will get Oklahoma the 2-for-1. It'll just occur from the free throw line on the front half.
Now, we'll say this, too. I hope Goodine proves me wrong, because this is when the old hitch in the giddy up on the defensive end. You end up going, man, my hip or my foot or whatever it is tends to flare up on defense, not as much on offense.
Fears has had a good first half. Run into the 1-and-1 is good. So 2-for-1, we talk about that. It's an NBA thing. Explain a little bit of the strategy and the timing that you want to see.
Well, that time it was 44 on the clock, right? So Fears took right off and he attacked. I mean, you want to probably get the shot up right around 40-ish, so you give yourself a chance. But that time, Fears was so quick that he got it up at 37. So very impressive by the way he attacked. But you want to give yourself at least 8 to 10 seconds to make a play. Now, to execute the 2-for-1, though, Chad, you have to rebound. You have the defensive rebound right here. Because if you do not, then you blow your opportunity. So we'll see if the Sooners can have great first shot. Oh, that time they're going to get the last one anyway, though, because big-time floater right there by Jadis Jones.
Jadis Jones using his physicality to get himself a little space that time. Shot clock is off. Final 10 seconds of the opening half. Duke Miles. Taylor, a three. Air ball underneath. Scramble for it. That'll do it for the opening half. Oklahoma once It's led by 23, but Lindenwood fighting back into it. It's a 14-point game at the break in the season opener at the Lloyd Noble Center. Lots of Oklahoma activity early.
Sooners flying high right now, Chad. Jalen Moore going upstairs, Godwin.
So first look for Oklahoma to begin half number 2. Miles curls around. Here's Moore. Shot clock plays down to 10. Elvis strong on that one. And out of bounds it goes. Elvis 0 for 4 from the field tonight.
OU right here in this extended, this soft. Well, no, this is their man. Their man. We've seen both. We've seen that soft three-quarter court in the full court man-to-man, and this time they're in the man. 5-man is always an outlet, and we've seen Lindenwood going to that most of the night. The 5-man comes up, gets it, then will escort the guard up the floor.
Browning skips out front. Elvis got a paw on it, but it didn't deter him. Rebound, McDaniel put it on the deck, and a foul down on the floor.
Picking up where they left off, crashing the offensive glass. Jalen McDaniel doing his work. He's just such an activity guy, Energizer Bunny type post player that has gotten his hands on a lot of the loose change in there.
And that's what they really love, Kyle Gerdeman and staff, about McDaniel. Just so much energy. Dutrell is off the mark with a 3. Lindenwood now 2 of 15 from three-point range tonight. Miles launches. That's good. A high arcer. And Miles has his first triple as a Sooner.
Well, that time that was a breakdown or a lapse in transition defense, and they just let Duke Miles rhythm up and come in, and the high point transfer showing why he averaged 18 points a game. And he's not afraid to get him up either now. He shot over 12 field goal attempts per game, and that time, you don't guard me, I'll take him. 1, 2, 3.
Had 11 20-point games last year at High Point. 3 seasons at Troy prior to that. So this is his 3rd stop. Jeremiah Fierce has checked into the game. Bryson Goodine, they stopped play and got him off the floor. Not sure if it's an injury situation, but we will check on that as Markeith Browning lays one way up over the top and down.
High and soft off that glass gives you a chance.
No,
Chad.
it works. It can work. So Goodine battling an ankle injury, and Kobe Elvis is in the building with his first 3.
Elvis is in the building right there with rhythmed up 3, and Duke Miles 1 possession, and Elvis right behind him.
$18-point advantage for Oklahoma. Bass got trapped. Godwin took it away. He and Miles with the double team. Here's Fierce. Hesitation, shovel it underneath. Jalen Moore, a little contact as he flips it up to the rim. And 2 free throws coming here. Making sure Jalen Moore's okay as he went down hard.
Yeah, he did. He took a skid right there. And
oh,
now we got
Reggie Bass down at midcourt.
It looks, I don't want to
speculate,
but
yeah,
looks like one of those you're just standing there and the old Charlie horse kind of pops up and gets you. Let's hope that's what it is, but we'll see.
So Bass gets helped to his feet as Coach Kyle Gerdeman comes out to have a look at him. Round of applause. So now we got guys dropping, and it's only the season opener. So Goodine leaves for the Sooners, and now Reggie Bass. Both pretty critical pieces for these 2 teams. Reggie Bass, the pace and tempo guy, calming presence out at the guard spot.
Let's hope he's okay. Looking at him over there.
I can't tell what he's holding. Looks like maybe his left shin. It's his lower part of his left leg.
Sitting right there by Coach Anthony Bean, was a pretty good guard himself. He played a few games in here wearing the purple for the K-State Wildcats. It's a good guy to learn from. He was a all Big 8. Shows you how old he is, by the way. He's all
you
Big
weren't
8
supposed to mention
guy.
that. That's a couple of conferences ago.
Yes, it is. Yes, it was, Chad.
So Moore missed the first. Second one drops. And the Sooners have hit 50. Lead is back out to 19. The largest advantage of the first half was 23. But Jalen Moore continues his good night. He has 14.
Sooners doing a good job keeping this ball pinned on this left side of the floor. Again, we always talk about third side. When the ball touches the third side, your percentage goes up a lot. But right now, the Lions have been stuck on this left side.
Shot clock at 5, and forcing his way to the bucket is Markeith Browning, and he draws a foul as well.
Tell you what, though, when you got that guy that has that extra gear, that 6th gear, you can put it in his hands, and they call that. If we get a chance to see it again, the left side of the floor, he used his right hand and snuck it under the shot blocker, and that's why they call it the sneak. Throws the timing of the shot blocker off, and that time Sam Godwin reading the left hand didn't time his jump, and Browning snuck it right under and got the deuce.
So 17-point game now. Browning is the first Lindenwood player to reach double digits. He's got 10 points on the night, and he guards Fears way out near the midcourt circle. Fears pitches in for Godwin, and his pass stolen. Trying to get it to Jalen Moore, taken by Jones. He'll gallop the other way for the deuce, coast to coast. And a 15-point game now.
Well, these guys, they just keep coming at you. I will say that to their credit. Guys are playing really hard.
Jalen Moore out of the corner, giving him more, like his 3rd triple of the night.
1, 2, 3. 3 ball from the left corner pocket. Jalen Moore, step-ins. That's his rhythm. Step in, step in, step ins. He makes those more than he misses.
17 for Jalen Moore, 3 of 5 from three-point range now. And he gets in the passing lane there. And this is not a surprise that he would shoot it this well. As you said earlier, shot 41% from three-point range, and it wasn't like he only shot 10. He made 25 threes, so that's approaching 1 made 3 per game a season ago.
And at this pace, Chad, it's just, you know, it's a confidence thing. You see 3 of them go in the basket tonight. You're shooting with confidence. You're working on your game. You're staying after. You're showing up before. You're doing all that, and you start to earn the right to take those shots and make those shots, and you trust your work. And right now, that is exactly what Jalen Moore is doing. Trust your work.
Wasn't really anything he needed to change about his game. It's just improve at all the things that you do, right?
That is exactly it. And so many times I said it in the pregame, guys get caught up listening to outside voices. Coach Moser told them best. I mean, all you have to do, Jalen, is be good at what you're good at and just keep working and get a little better at it, because that'll get you where you want to go.
That foul is on Weggie, and it's his 3rd. So the Sooner big man finding a little foul trouble. There's a travel, as solid defense played there, and Duke Miles really is the one who caused the travel by Browning.
That was, Duke Miles did a great job. Browning, scouting report says he wants to go left. Duke Miles jumped on that left hand and ended up causing a turnover.
Freshman Fears has control of the Sooner offense. And Moore trying to get it to Fears. It goes into the backcourt. Over and back against the Sooners. That's turnover number 9. Lindenwood has 8.
One of those unforced errors right there. But again, give Lindenwood all the credit, because they are scrapping. They're clawing. They're competing on defense. The Sooners are just in a really good offensive rhythm right now.
Jalen Moore's going to go get a breather as Jacob Fredson Cole is back in for the Sooners. Dutrell caught the inbound. They had the shot clock at 20 to start this possession.
Yes, yep. Short clock right here, though. We haven't said that very many times. Sooners in that trap, in that dead area, that short corner.
Good step through. The follow by Wildy, no. And finally, the Oklahoma rebound and a foul. It's getting physical. Glenn Taylor Jr. came away with that. He was under heavy pressure down on the baseline. I think they're going to get Jadis Jones, and they will. He'll pick up the first personal foul. 2 on Jadis Jones. Oklahoma by 18, just underway in half number 2 of the season opener at the Lloyd Noble Center.
This is the SEC. Every walk is a parade. Every song, a symphony. Every Saturday is a celebration. Every game
It's made its last 3 from the field. The Sooners are shooting nearly 50% on the night to build this 18-point lead, and solid defending for most of the night by Porter Moser's team. Poop.
So active, Chad, right now. They're holding Lindenwood to 31.7% shooting for the game, and this is just activity. I mean, this is aggressiveness in that trap. You want to go foot to foot, although they allowed the split. That was a great job by Wagee going hands back. And then I will say this, we're number 36 defensively ranked by Ken Palm at the end of last season. So this isn't anything new playing good defense, but this is a new group playing good defense for the Sooners, and much activity tonight.
So the lineup is Jalen Moore getting a little time on the bench right now. Bryson Goodine left as he's trying to get through what looks like an ankle injury.
I did see right prior to the break too, where Reggie Bass, let's hope he's okay. They took him up the tunnel, so whatever it is, I mean, like you said, we got a lot of guys. Hopefully both of those young men are able to get back out and get going.
Ryan Humphrey, the Sooner assistant, former Sooner, right there with Porter Moser going through some things as they come out of the break. Jeremiah Fears, that's controls for the Sooners. This is Jacob Fredson Cole, and tipped out of bounds as Colin Ruffin got a hand on it for Lindenwood. Shot clock at 17 for Oklahoma. Jacob Fredson Cole, a guy Porter Moser said he had a really good summer, so we'll put him in there and see what he's got. We'll get a little playing time here in the second half.
Short
10 to
clock.
shoot here. Fears for 3. And a wrestling match underneath results in a foul. I believe they will get Jordan Wildy.
I'll tell you what, Chad, those plays are made and they save possessions for your team. That time Wagee just going to the glass calls Wildy to foul him, and so he saves a possession right there. That is a team offensive rebound for OU off of activity by Wagee.
Fears had his pocket picked briefly by Ruffin. A 3 is down for Duke Miles.
Duke Miles looking like he's getting into that rhythm, feeling like he did at High Point, where he was an 18-point scorer. That just was a bang-in 3, stepping in with rhythm. That's the second one he's made this second half.
8 points in his Oklahoma debut for Miles. Colin Ruffin found a little bit of room. Johnson, kick out 3. It's down. Nathan Johnson Jr.
Coffeyville transfer, catching it in rhythm. Nice release right there, splashing that step-in 3. Looked very comfortable right there, letting that thing fly. Shot 19% from the 3 last season. Didn't look like it on that one.
Second season of Lindenwood. Started a few games last year after transferring from Coffeyville Community College. Fears whips it down low. Beautiful reverse, but short by Fredson Cole. And Wagee fouled after he got the rebound.
Very impressive play by Jeremiah Fears right there, Chad. That, again, simple is good. That was a left-hand hook pass right there. As is that Boomer or Sooner over my left shoulder right there?
Yes.
Either one. I'm gonna give him the headset and let him come on down and.
Well, they don't talk.
Break
Though,
this.
That would be an issue. The Ponies, they do not talk here. Oh, here we go. You still can't get him to say a word. You know how you can tell the two Ponies apart? One has blue eyes, one has brown eyes. Yep.
Did not know that.
Yep. Boomer is behind us.
Blue.
Boomer has blue eyes. Yeah. Boomer's behind us.
I like it.
Wants to be a part of the broadcast team. We'll see. Bobbing and weaving Elvis. Kick out 3 for Miles. That's down as well. Miles is finding his range.
He is finding his groove, finding his range, getting into that 1-2 step.
Little nice jump hook inside as Wildy found himself a little bit of room.
That is another Coffeyville transfer. Coach Jay Herkelman setting it home, hopefully watching these young guys. His daughter is the nutritionist for the Sooners, so he better be dialed and tuned in watching tonight.
Backdoor cut. Taylor lays it in.
That is the third really good pass by Sam Godwin. That's something to have. You have your 5-man that can get out and catch the ball and play off the perimeter and make plays, and it spaces the floor, takes the shot blocker or the rim protector out. That is a great play by OU.
Lead builds back to 21. The largest it has been is 23. It's a nice loop pass over to Futrell, who skips one across the rim to the backside. And Elvis pushes the tempo for Oklahoma. Nice find underneath. Taylor Jr. again. Elvis a good feed, and Oklahoma has equaled its largest lead of the night The Sooner offense has made 7 of its last 9 from the field.
That was a really good job. Elvis right there did not leave the building. Great pass right there to Duke Miles, shooting it with rhythm, feeling like he's back at high point. The top dog right there putting on a show out here in Lloyd Noble.
Oh, man.
Right now, the Sooners are putting on a show.
Makes you think of Wayman Tisdale and Tim McAllister.
Oh, my. Skeeter
Stacey
meter.
King and the Skeeter meter. Top dog.
Those are some names you just went back into the hot tub time machine right there, Chad, and grabbed some of those names.
I wonder if anybody's got an old Skeeter meter sitting around.
If you do, please put it on Twitter and tag me. I want to see it.
Put it on eBay. You may get rich. Substitutions here. Clayton Jackson, a freshman guard, in for the first time, and a turnover. Miles sprints the other way. Taylor run off the three-point line. Good passing, even better defense. The block by Wilde. Transition, Ruffin, stripped. A hand in there by Miles. And here come the Sooners the other way. Lead, Sam I am with the slam.
With a little authority, I like to say it. Coach Moser, one of his go-tos, Chad. DCO right there. A little defense, creating offense, and Sam's not going to miss that.
Godwin leading the charge. He's got 6 points and 12 rebounds. There's the freshman getting his first look. Jackson, he's off the mark. And here come the Sooners. It's a little more freewheeling game right now, Pooh.
It really is.
Elvis off.
Don't be cruel right there, Kobe.
Stop it now.
That's about the only Elvis song I know, too, by the way. Didn't Bobby Brown? I knew the Bobby Brown version of that Don't Be Cruel, Chad.
Elvis's was better. Sorry, Bobby. Moore couldn't swipe that one. Book Knight on the miss. Look at Taylor in attack mode. And he's bumped and fouled. Johnson got the block up high. The foul came down low. Oklahoma out running. Largest lead of the night is 25. This part of a 6-0 run.
Chad, D is the defense. CO is creating offense. DCO. Kobe. Sam. Don't be so mean, Sam. Sooners up 25.
We told you about the 10 newcomers to Porter Moser's Oklahoma roster. Many of them are seeking their second collegiate degrees. Look at these guys. Kobe Elvis, Bryson Godine, Jadon Jones, who's not playing tonight, and Mohamed Wagee, all working on their master's degrees.
Tell you what, Chad, when you have guys like that, you can run a lot of offense. You guys can have these COVID super seniors. So
most of them have graduated, but some may have had a red shirt somewhere in between and still could have that year of eligibility. There's Mohamed Wagee. Mohamed Wagee's a great story. We got Dayton Forsyth in for the first time tonight, Sooner freshman. And there is Kobe Elvis. 5 assists for him, a couple of turnovers. So this is a 6-0 run in progress for the Sooners with Glenn Taylor Jr. at the line. And Glenn Taylor Jr. is a guy the Sooners got a little bit late in the process. Spent 2 years at Oregon State, then last year at St. John's. So he's played in the big-time environment. St. John's, Madison Square Garden. Porter Moser said he played 100 career games, and many of them at the biggest stage in sports.
Well, you're talking about a guy that averaged 12 points a game in the Pac-12. He played at Oregon State, averaged 12 a game, so he's been on the floor in some major college games.
The Oklahoma women have a pretty good Oregon State transfer named Reagan Beers. We saw her with a double-double earlier today right here.
That is true. She is a good one.
McDaniel trying to back his way underneath. He does. Reverses off the window and in.
Great activity by this young guy, Jalen McDaniel. Just love it. He's like a pogo stick. He hits that floor and he's up and up before the defender even thinks getting off his feet. He's finished.
Here's Dayton Forsyth. Found a little breathing room but couldn't quite finish it. Taken away by Markeith Browning. Browning lost that one, touched last by a Sooner, either Forsythe or Elvis.
Browning has that extra gear. He's got an explosive first step. Loves to go left. He's a lefty. I mean, scouting report says he's going to probably take it to that left side. Sooners have been sitting on that hand, and you know what? He's so fast he can still get by you, Jack.
He's so quick. You may know where he's going and still not be able to get in front of him.
Good luck stopping him.
A hold off the ball. I think they're going to get Forsythe for this one.
Young freshman getting a taste of major college basketball. Welcome to the party.
State Forsythe out of Dale, Oklahoma. Consensus #1 player in Oklahoma coming out of high school last year. 3-time state championship winner. There's Browning again, just galloping across the lane. Now he's got a few words for the Sooners now.
He is a load, and he is going to the basket. He's relentless, has an air of toughness about him. A good-looking player.
Lindenwood picked 9th out of the 11-team Ohio Valley Conference as Sam Godwin shakes free and scores another Sooner bucket.
What did we talk about in the first half, Chad? That Sam Godwin is a rim roller, and he threatens the rim every time he sets a ball screen. He just puts pressure on that defense.
14 rebounds for Sam Godwin, and now 6 points. There's McDaniel, plows his way in. Jadis Jones trying to back down Jalen Moore, and he does. Drops a little lefty jump hook over the top.
Big time shot. Now Browning's limping a little bit, headed over to the sideline. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, a couple of guys going down for Lindenwood, as you mentioned earlier. Reggie Bass, the starting point guard, is headed up the tunnel. And now I see Browning over there sitting down and trying to get some fluids. They immediately hand him the Gatorade bottle.
Okay, we know what that looks like.
Taylor, hesitation, banging his way in, and a held ball. Taylor and Aeneas Futrell get tied up. Possession arrow heads the other way with Lindenwood.
That was an impressive move right there, though, by Taylor. I mean, he went left to right, behind the back, got it deep, lost his footing a little bit. You would have loved for him to initiate contact and use that strong body and get it on the glass. Wasn't quite able to. Strong-looking move, though.
Jacob Fredson Cole returns for Oklahoma. Fears is back in there as well. 9:41 to play. Oklahoma has been pretty comfortable. Largest lead was 26. Had an early 9-0 run. Led this game 9-2 and just had a firm grasp on it since then. Futrell finds the baseline and kisses that one off the window and in.
That was a nice move by the Christian brother transfer out of Memphis, Tennessee. Christian brothers, just for those keeping score at home. He's from St. Louis originally. Didn't look like he had any fear in his eyes, taking it to the rack right there against the Sooners.
Sooners take a timeout here. 9:12 to play in the second half. 20-point advantage for Porter Moser's team. They have shot 48% from the field, made 10 threes. Just kind of a little reminder, maybe a reset. Lose your focus just a tad bit. Probably on the defensive end is where he's most concerned at this point.
Without a question. I mean, they're allowing. This is one of those things where you have to take it up on yourself. And you always hear coaches talk about guard your yard. That means 3 feet to your right, 3 feet to your left. That yard on each side of you want to guard. You don't want to give anyone any straight lines, force them out with angles. And if you can do that, it makes your defense so much better because you're not in rotations. You're not getting guys helping, recovering, closing out, long closeouts. If you guard your yard, you're going to be pretty good defensively, Chad.
3 feet left, 3 feet right.
That's
I like
your
the
yard.
size of that yard.
That's
less mowing that way.
Hey, my wife would tell you, you know what? I have a 15 and a 17-year-old. I gave up mowing for a while. They're
As
mowing.
you should.
They are the mowers.
A couple of adjustments here. I don't think this is a look we've seen from Oklahoma with Fredson Cole and Fears out there. Here's Fears stripped. And a hand in there by Clayton Jackson.
Well, these guys are going to keep coming. We talked about Lindenwood, and, you know, Coach Gerdeman's been around good coaches. He's done a heck of a job, rebuilding and building this program in his image. They're going to play with toughness.
Shot clock is under 5. Fears says, I'll go get a shot. He does, and he's fouled. So a couple of free throws. It is so nice to have a player when the shot clock is down at that level who can just go make a play. And this freshman certainly looks like he's one of those.
Well, he's one of those guys. He's got that gear we talked about. And that's one of the things you learn to play with different pace. That's one of the things that when you really start to make that jump, you learn to play slow to fast. You know, that was one of the things, one of the best things I learned as a college basketball player, Chad, was something like this. See, boom, slow, fast, change speed, change pace. I was one of those guys who was always fast in high school. I was just running around, and one of the best advice I can still remember, my college coach said, hey, look, when you do that, you negate your speed. You know, Fears has great speed, but that time he went from slow to boom, extra gear, and that is, you know, beyond his years as a young freshman to see him do that.
9 points, 5 of 6 from the foul line tonight. He's added 5 assists and just 1 turnover.
It's a great floor game by a freshman in his first collegiate game.
Shot clock plays down to 10.
With the lights on and the popcorn in the air, it makes a difference, Chad.
Never know how a guy's going to respond.
100%.
So that popcorn here at the Lloyd Noble Center, funny things happen.
You get the cheerleaders out here, you get the popcorn in the air. Some guys lose their mind, some guys dial in. He's dialed in.
Sam Godwin will make a trip to the foul line. They'll ring that one up, and Markeith Browning the third. That's 4 fouls on him. And Sam Godwin will have a chance at a double-double here. 14 rebounds, 8 points as he toes the stripe here.
This guy, Sam Godwin, is just gobbling up rebounds. I mean, he's one of those guys that just, it's like a magnet. Some guys can find the ball, and he is one of those guys.
And he will shoot some threes this year. Porter Moser said he has worked on that, and it will be a self-maintenance type of situation. He said, you know, if he comes out, shoots one, misses it, shoots another one, he'll probably shut it down for the night, but they want him to be able to do that.
Well, and it goes hand in hand with what Porter said. He said he's one of the most improved guys on the team. Right there as Ruffin drives it in and finishes with that left hand. But when you work on your game and you expand, that's what Sam, he's earned the right.
Bretson Cole falls as he pivots, and a traveling violation sends us to break with the Sooners having a 20-point lead at the under 8 timeout.
Chad, we got the Sooners right now shooting at a big basket from behind the arc, shooting 10 for 26 for 39% from the three-point line. Even more impressive, Chad, half of their field goal attempts are from behind the arc.
Necessarily make them in scrimmage exhibitions, but they feel like they can because they have guys who are proven shooters at this level.
Well, you talk about analytics. Coach Moser wanted the Sooners to have about 40% of their field goal attempts beat from behind the arc, as we see this.
Jalen Moore, a little contact, double clutch, and still finishes. What a night he's had.
And one for the senior, Georgia Tech transfer, making plays, playing with force in transition. And Waggy, I mean, I love his energy and effort. He is an Energizer bunny. And that guy there is a grown man, Jalen Moore. Right, back to finish my thought, though. Last season, the Sooners shot about 35 to 36% of their shots from behind the arc. Coach wants them to get it up to 40. And right now, again, they're ahead of that pace with 50% of their shots being behind the arc.
And they'll apply at least a little bit of pressure. Look here. Jalen Moore now 20 points on the night. His career high is 23. So he's approaching that. Still a lot of time to go.
He's flirting with it.
Fears rips away that rebound. Tough spot in there for Jalen Moore. He's kind of trapped under the bucket. Here's Fears. He'll flip it out. And that three is rinsed home by Duke Miles, who's having a good second half.
There's another one. You get a three, Duke Miles. Light it up, young fella.
He's got 4 made threes tonight. Beg your pardon, 3 made threes, 11 points.
Shooting it with confidence, looking very comfortable as he's letting it fly. No, you're right, Chad. That's 4 threes. 5 for 6 from the field, 4 of 5 being from behind that arc.
Sooners have 3 players who have made at least 3 threes. Moore, Miles, and Godine, who hasn't been back in there.
Well, you know, that's one of the things, like you just said it. Coach Moser talked about, you know, we have proven guys that have made them. You just don't know what they're going to do when they put a different jersey on and show up here playing at this level. But any given night, you can see this. I mean, you get guys like it. Sam hadn't taken one of his yet, and he's a guy that's capable of making one. You have multiple guys that can hit multiple threes in a game, and we're witnessing it tonight, and these guys are shooting it with much confidence, Chad.
Colin Ruffin calmly strokes home a couple of free throws. 76-52. Oklahoma leads it with under 7 left. Here's over in that deep corner. Shot clock down to 10.
Ball still trying to get to the second side.
Miles launches off the mark this time. There's more. Back up to get it. And this 3-ball by Taylor is no good.
They got Sam on the push. I wondered if they were going to call it. Got a little excited.
That's 2 fouls on Sam Godwin.
Carved out a little space on that weak side, and that long shot was going to get a long rebound, and he got a little extra room with the push. 1-2-2 extended, soft press. It's falling back into the man again. Just something that, you know, I think the Sooners are trying to get. Sometimes the team will give it to you.
Both teams will be in the bonus the rest of this one. Butrell stripped. Fears and Glenn Taylor Jr. And there's Fears wide open, lays it in.
That was a waltz down Main Street right there. And transition defense, there's an old saying, Chad. You have to stop the ball. The ball scores.
That it does.
If you don't stop the ball, I mean, it could be Steph Curry standing out in that corner, but even he can't score without the ball.
And Aeneas Butrell scores. 78-55 now. Fears, by the way, is into double figures in his Oklahoma debut. He's got 11.
Playing with a lot of comfort and great pace as a freshman.
And he is. He's got a matchup he wants against Wilde and loops it up and in. Just blew right by the 6'10 Wilde.
That was a nice move, and scooped it to the left hand and just dancing out there with the ball in his hands.
13 on 4 of 9 shooting with 5 assists for Fears. We've got 5 minutes left. Been a long time without a stoppage here. Bowling his way in goes Browning, but he lost it. Hit ahead. Jalen Moore, highlight reel time.
He was flirting with that. I said a cramp though, Chad. 22 and 23 is a career high. He just told the bench, look at him. He must not know you're talking about a potential career high over here.
So it looks like Jalen Moore is going to head out of this one as we've got a timeout. He's had plenty in the highlight reel tonight. It's Jalen Moore. So the 27-point lead for Oklahoma, largest of the night for the Sooners.
That was a great pass right there, and flirting with a career high. Throw it down, Jalen.
Impressive debut for Oklahoma freshman Jeremiah Fears out of Joliet, Chicago, Illinois. Went to Arizona Compass Prep, reclassified from 2025 to the class of 2024. And Pooh, he has got some shake, he's got some wiggle, he's got some juice.
You know it, Chad.
And he's asking that question, isn't he?
May I have this dance right now? And he's got dancing shoes, and he's got them going. They don't know if they're coming or going because he is slippery with the ball in his hands.
Dad Jeremy played at Ohio University and Bradley at a high level in his first game at this level for Jeremiah Fears. Just 1 turnover. Of course, that's what you expect is going to happen with the freshman point guard. And Porter Moser he's told him, look, I've got to coach you harder. For you to get where you want to get, and for this team to get where we want them to get, you got to coach your point guards hard. Browning got stripped there.
That time again, he's going left, and then he came back left to right. But talking about Jeremiah Fears, I mean, I heard Coach Moser say it. He said that was a Coach Rick Majerus line. There's a race to maturity, and right now this guy's ahead of schedule in that race. You just want to keep him advancing. You know, there's going to be some knocks. There's going to be some of those days where, you know, he's a freshman, but freshman play right there.
On cue.
That is what happens, but he's made a lot of good ones, though, tonight. But freshmen are going to have freshman plays, and you just want to keep them ahead of pace.
Browning, the bank is not open. We got a late start here, so the bank's closed for Markeith Browning. Dayton Forsythe back in. Fears cashes in his first 3 of the night.
Great pass right there by Dayton Forsythe with that drive left through a bounce pass, which, again, we talked about perimeter bounce pass. Not always the best passes, but that one caught him in rhythm and was on the money.
So when is a bounce pass good?
It's a finishing pass, Chad.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
You're throwing it in transition, bounce pass layup. You know, throwing it into the post, bounce pass for the post.
Taylor steps in. Godwin flushes it. And Sam Godwin, the finish. He's got a double-double now. 11 points and 15 boards.
That guy has been hanging on the rim all night long. Great finish by Sam Godwin.
McDaniel crossing over to the bucket. He'll earn a trip to the foul line. Sam Godwin and Jalen Moore going to cause a little rim repair at the Lloyd Noble Center tonight. They've both been doing this a lot. The Sooners up 30.
Rock that rim.
Only just begun.
Suntan lotion?
Thanksgiving dinner and his bathing suit. Probably not a good combination. Porter Moser will be taking his team down there to enjoy. Sooners will get that opening round game. And they've got a tough schedule. You know, they would get Davidson or Arizona, then Gonzaga and Louisville are also there. They've got Georgia Tech in the SEC ACC Challenge. They will play Bedlam in basketball. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, they're going to play at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City December 14th, and the Jumpman Invitational out in Charlotte December the 18th. Oklahoma, in Porter Moser's 3 seasons as head coach, they have played one of the 12 toughest schedules all 3 seasons. And given what the SEC looks like with 9 teams in the top 25, they might play another top 10 or 12 schedule.
Oh, that lineup you just called out, Chad, that is, I don't know if I'd call it murderer's row, but it isn't far from it.
3 ball down for Kobe Elvis. That's his second made 3 tonight. And the Sooners have now made 13.
They are shooting the cover off the ball tonight. Might want to save a few of those for that next game against those Devils. What are they? The Devils?
Demons.
Northwestern
State Demons.
I better know that.
Natchitoches, Louisiana.
I'm a Beggs
yeah,
Demons,
that's not
man.
that far. You're a demon.
I'm a Beggs Demon myself, so I'm slipping, Chad, slipping.
Nathan Johnson Jr. and Futrell out there. Oklahoma 90 points and counting. Johnson Jr. off the mark with that one. Foul on the floor. Did they get Wiggy? I believe they did. L.A. Tonkara will shoot a couple of free throws. He's from Guinea. Now that's actually 5 on Mohamed Wiggy.
He didn't. Hey, you know what? If you're gonna play hard as he did, Chad, don't waste it.
Get your money's worth.
Get your money's worth, and he got them all and played so hard and with so much activity tonight.
He does.
Give him his credit. He brings the juice.
He's coming back from that stress fracture in his foot. Tonkara, mentioned he's from Guinea, played in the NBA Academy Africa, but did not play his senior year. 90 to 58. Already had some interesting results around the SEC tonight. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Mississippi State win. And a 3-ball good from the corner pocket for Dayton Forsythe, the freshman.
Give Forsythe the 3. Give Fears the play, though. Driving to his left. Skip pass opposite corner as he drifted to his left, avoiding the charge. That is a really good play that he made look simple. Simple is good. You'll hear me say that over and over. He'll learn that too. Simple is good.
14 made Sooner 3s tonight on 32 tries. And a step back 3 on the way from Fredson Cole is no good. And we've had an upset in the SEC tonight. Texas A&M went to UCF and fell to Johnny Dawkins and the Knights, and a court storming there.
Start the year with a court storming.
At Texas and Ohio State playing a little bit later on out in Las Vegas. Staying up for that one.
Man, hey, we've already the clock just went back, right? My body's feeling like 11 p.m. right now, Chad. I'm getting old, man. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to take in.
You see Rodney Terry's Longhorns make their debut as SEC contenders later on tonight. And Jake Moser, son of Sooner head coach Porter Moser, is going to get some run with 1:35 left. And Kobe Elvis is out. 6 points for Elvis tonight. 6 different Sooners have combined to make those 14 threes.
They were shooting at a big rim all night long, but especially in this second half, they started to rain.
Dayton Forsythe at the controls. Luke Northweather is also out there. And there's a turnover. Galloping the other way is Jalen Bouknight to the window and in.
Nice bucket transition. That time as soon as wasn't on the same page, though. Dayton thought Northweather was going to roll into that little dead area in that little short roll, and Northweather was popping. So one guy was popping, the other guy thought he was going to short roll, and that's what happens when you're not on the same page.
And this is just a timeout. Not going to be a long stoppage, just to get some youngsters some playing time, like Reed Lovelace, played in 6 games last year. He's out of Crossings Christian School in Oklahoma City. And he'll replace Jeremiah Fears. Impressive debut for Fears tonight. 6 assists, 2 turnovers, and 16 points for Jeremiah Fears.
Very good night for the young freshman.
Northweather whipping it to Fredson Cole. .50 seconds left. 8 to shoot here for the Sooners. There's Lovelace. Let it fly, young man.
He wasn't bashful.
He was not. Nearly got it down. And about 10 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock to close this one out. Bouknight a little off the mark for Lindenwood there. Final possession coming up. Oklahoma with a double-double from Sam Godwin tonight. Jalen Moore nears a career high. He has 22 and 7 rebounds. 5 Sooners in double figures. Hope that Bryson Goodine is okay. Saw him leave early in the second half, but pretty complete victory for Porter Moser Sooners in their debut. Plus 12 rebounding margin.
And you know what, their defense, and that's one of the things that Coach Moser really talked about, that you have to keep fighting to get better, and especially on that defensive end, and holding your opponent to 35% from the field. I think they accomplished that.
Sooners in the win column to debut the 24-25 season, and Porter Moser and Kyle Gerdeman having a conversation there at midcourt. Oklahoma looks good in winning 93-60 over the Lindenwood Lions out of the Ohio Valley Conference. Of all the numbers that are going to stand